Hey everybody, it's Paul again from Stretching Canada. It's Thursday, and we were talking. We were talking about the arm line yesterday, yesterday, and before that, the shoulder girdle. And so now, the isolation is, it's adaptable, and I'm doing okay with it. But I do notice, as of yesterday, that my body is responding in a way that sort of it's visceral, and it's not an intellectual process at all. Like I missed this or I missed that, and it's sort of coming through into my ribs and my chest and my breathing and my heart. And I had to laugh yesterday because I wanted to do this because I had already written that down on Sunday what I wanted to do during the week. And I noticed that this is exactly what I need. So instead of just doing, active isolated stretching and things that are really easy to follow, I want to sort of throw in what's attached to the arm line and what's attached to your fingers and your thumb and what's attached to the muscles that affect our breathing or allow us to breathe. So first, I think, to move back, I'm just going to shift this out of the way. I guess you can see that. So the first one is reaching overhead. So your palm is basically facing forward. You're reaching, you're extending your arm down. So you're not just sort of lifting your arm. You're reaching, you're actively reaching out through the arm, through the fingers and the thumb as you come up. So it's going to be the rhythm of your breath. We'll do 5. Reach up, like out to the wall, up to the ceiling and across. And if you can't, just add a bit of an assist. And what you're not seeing is I'm coming up by the side, but my head's in the way. So I'm going to reach back a little bit and then try and assist behind my head. Now, here's the part where you need to continue to brace in the front. And when I say brace, I just think bring these ribs together to start with without pulling your belly into your spine, because then it's going to create a different posture. It's going to make it hard to breathe. So, brace, 1, 2. And go with the rhythm of your breathing. I just lost I popped the ribs there for a sec. 5. Ooh. And because that's visible, it's suitable for TV. Reach back and then 1, 2. And again, it's just this kind of pressure when I'm pulling here. 2. And you can text me or you can message me on Facebook or you can comment here when I pop my ribs again. Keep me accountable. 4 and 5. Same thing coming forward. So as you come up, you can kind of feel some of this latissimus dorsi, a little bit of serratus as we get beyond the level of the humerus, beyond the humeral head. The humerus going beyond the labrum and into these muscles here. So now we're starting to get just some of the fibers of the serratus. Coming up, we did this one. So now palm is facing me. There's lots of different arm positions you can get for different fibers of the flexors of the arm. But for now, just palms forward, thumb up, and reaching out and up, reaching out through the fingers. And 1 and 2. 1. Hard to assist this, except maybe if I'm in the door frame or, the jog of a wall, I can come up and just 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and just lean and bear the weight through my legs, and then against the wall. And this is 5. Now, I'm going to do that again because what I want you to know is that you can either grab the chair. I was talking too much and I forgot to mention it. Grab the chair, grab the leg of the chair, or as you come up, you can counterbalance and keep yourself from rotating. I don't know if you were seeing that, but the center line was shifting as I was talking. So as I come up and I'm rotating away from the stretch, I'm going to use my other arm and reach back. And I do this more often than I do grabbing the arm or the leg of a chair because it just feels so much better. So I'm still stretching the right. And 4. 5. And then reaching down, actively reaching out up to the ceiling, and then back 2 And as I come up, I'm feeling these serratus muscles open up. And you can also set that intention. Because here, at the end of the day, we want to release muscles that are going to open up the lungs, diaphragm, and ultimately the heart. So our higher self can do its job. And 5. And again, you can have all this arm position. Now, let me get into the trunk. Now, earlier in the week, we were talking about this and being safe and sort of, extending the stretch. But today, I'm going to start stretching the obliques on the right side, as well as most anterior obliques, internal obliques, external obliques, quadratus muscles as they pertain to how the ribs are pulled down in the back. But let's just start. We just did this, so now we're going to add trunk work to this. So starting here, right side stretch, right leg shoots out to the right, left leg is about 90 degrees. So this line and this line are 90 degrees. So you're stabilized when you reach your end range and you're weighted down by your leg. So I'm going to reach down, grab the leg of the chair, or you can use a yoga block. This isn't exactly a yoga block, but you get the idea. It can be there if you can't, so you have something to achieve here. And rest on it. So again, leg out to the side. Left leg stabilizing me, and I'm reaching out. Hand is on the block. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put that here. Actually, I can do this without the block, but if you need to, there's a block here. Now, actually, I'm on the floor, so I'm stabilizing on the floor. And now, I want you to we all know now about the breathing out as we stretch. Think about the arm line opening up, and you can actually spiral your arm. And when I say spiral, I'm helixing the arm in an external rotation, and it just adds to that stretch. 1, 2, and you can feel that really pulling through the pecs and underneath into the serratus, coracobrachialis. And I'm going to go the same thing on the other side. Left leg shoots out, right leg stabilizes, breathing. I'm just going to come down by the side. So if I do this sideways to the camera, I'm really just coming down like yoga block here. Not sure if that's reading well or not. So if I have my block here. And 5. So these are stretches that we've done before, lateral work. And you can throw in some oblique, anterior oblique, and that's a really lovely way to sort of continue to open up in the back. However, we haven't really spent much time in the front. So I'm going to rotate my chair so the back leg of the chair, I don't know if you can see that. I'm sliding down the back leg of the chair. Or again, you can, even though it's not a yoga block, you can have your yoga block there and, have your hand on it to start with. But what I want to do is I want to keep these hips square to the direction I'm facing, which is you. Right leg, I'm going to go to the right side, open up the right side. The right leg shoots out to the side, but in front. Maybe off to the side might not help, but so I'm out front about 45 degrees, and you can see my leg is about 45 degrees. And the left leg is to the side, so now I'm still making that 90-degree angle between my two sides. Left hand on the yoga block or on the leg of the chair, and you're actually keeping your sit bones stable without any kind of rotation or movement. So they're staying in this direction while the trunk rotates back. Ready? About 45 degrees, and I'm going to put my hand down and then reach up. So this angle here reaches down through the internal obliques, down into a bit of the adductors, maybe a bit of psoas or iliacus. Opening up that diaphragm a little bit. And I'm always reaching out. I'll get into that in a second. So I'm active, reaching out. And as I open up that heart line, I start to feel an opening here. It almost gets like a scratchy throat or wanting to burp, opening up the restrictions that are held in our bodies. So left leg off to the side, 45 degrees, right leg out, another 45 degrees from my center, so it makes 90 degrees. And the right arm is going to slide down the leg of the chair, you can see here. And starting from here, breath in, and then use your breath. I think that was 4. So now what I want to throw out there is, before we get into the, we can get into it, achieve this kind of slight rotation, but I wanted to go back to the rotation that we were doing earlier in the week and I think this time last week, where this arm is on the opposite side and this active side was on the back of the chair that we have it, a stable chair, not a rolling chair. This time I want to add that coracobrachialis and short head of the bicep by just try this for now. And this is part of the breathing and opening that heart line, is that, there's a lot of viscera attached to the heart that runs down through the arm and into the hand. If you've ever listened to the podcast, I think the podcast of Carly Vernon, and I saw her on a YouTube channel with Jamie Francis. Check out Jamie Francis. She's been interviewing all the top brains and the top minds and the top hearts in our industry. And some of them are just so powerful. They jump out of the screen and they're just an incredible resource for us, especially at this time. Anyway, Carly talks about the heart as a tube that's raveled up, and that doesn't need to be opened with a scalpel. It can actually be unraveled. So if you think about where we are now and all the tensions and the stressors that we're experiencing in our lives, that this is something that really can be opened up. And I've been doing this for years, and I think I started to cry when I heard her talk about this because it made so much sense, and it was finally somebody articulating what was for me a truth, which is if I work through these muscles and I can feel the heart line, I can stabilize here and reach through my fingers and thumb, and I can feel things opening up. And I start to get a scratchy pull at the throat, or I start to burp, or sometimes emotions pop up. And I want to sort of try and share that with you. So take a breath in. Try putting your fingers here. Some people put their stabilizer when they're in yoga or prayer, but you can put your fingers there. You can put your thumb there, and this is an anchor here. So you're actually kind of pulling this way while you're working this way. So breath in, and then reaching back, and now as you come back, spiral the arm, so you're externally rotating the arm, so your palm is up, and you can go as far as you want with that rotation and reach back and pull back in the center. And 3. We're going to do 2 sets of this. We're going to add to this. And this, what I'm doing right now, I do this every day before I do anything else. Well, maybe I don't do it while I'm in bed. Let's do one more. So I'm spiraling, or what Carly called helixing that arm. And now I'm going to come back to the same place in my heart, stabilize at the sternum with my thumbs and pulling in to the right, and then rotating back. And there's so much attached. I'm reaching out through my fingers as I rotate. And there's so much attached to the viscera that holds this. The heart and the lungs in their place. And if you reach back and you're calm and you're doing this in the same manner that we've been doing the active isolated stretching, self-stretching, slowly at the rhythm of your breathing, methodically, not forcing anything, just meeting yourself where you're at, and then you might find yourself getting a little coughing or feeling things releasing inside, and it feels a little weird sometimes to talk funny for a few minutes, or you start coughing up. Or yawning and getting into those layers of the viscera. It's really important. Now, let's go back to what we were doing this way. And I'm going to take this on our second set. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to really make sure my sit bones are through the chair and into the floor. And I'm going to open up both sides. So I'm reaching back and throwing those underarms of the armpits up into the air with that rotation. And now rotate and reach with your fingers back to center. So super important, I'll explain this again, to brace in the front by bringing these two bottom ribs together, and think about those bottom ribs and the pubic bone coming together in the center like this, not pulling your belly into your spine. So coming out to the side, externally rotating, reach my everything from my inside, my soul, out through my fingers, 1, 2, my heart, my lungs, my diaphragm, my spirit, reaching out. If you don't want to do this arm, you can just reach around one side and then reach around. Let's do this. It's so good. And then, so you can continue to do that with the rotations that we were doing. And I'm just reaching that same rotation, and actually yoga block. I can rotate the yoga block. 1, 2. Do 5 of those, and then rotate this yoga block, and then throw left leg out, left arm up, and spiral it out. So rotating out. And you can add those. Now, other stretches, no, they won't be strengthening stretches or strengthening. They're really just mobilizations and stabilization for the muscles. And if I throw this down here just a little bit, you probably all know Cobra. This is a really good stretch to get in, because we've opened up a lot of things in the back, but we haven't spent much time in the front. So, sorry. Hands underneath my shoulders, toes are engaged, so they're pushing into the ground, and just looking up to the ceiling, and just assisting here with my forearms. If you really want to open up the deep front line, down the front, you're pushing your tongue flat up against the top palate of your mouth, and push it forward. I'll just do 3. And then you can get into what's known as cat camel, or some people call it cat cow, which is really just, again, the spine mobilizer. But if you can see this, I don't know if you can see this with the shirt hanging down, but a lot of people come up and they're breathing out, and it makes more room. And that's not wrong, but if you come up, and so your arms are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and as you come up, breathe in, because what that does is it opens up the ribs and the scapula in the back. And then you can add a different movement to it. I'm curling my head down. I'm done with this, the cervical spine, looking down towards my feet. And then I'm bringing my sternum and my belly down to the floor, and then up, and tongue work. And so on and so forth. You can continue on with those for as long as you want. It's light, hot. So there's other work that we can do. I'll just sort of demonstrate. If you have a roller like this, you can throw that on the ground, sitting on it, and then lying back, and just over a series of breaths, let your head sit on. Over a series of breaths, let your legs fall out, your arms fall out. Eventually, once you're stable, you can sort of get into protraction and retraction of the scapulae, or just lie like this, and it helps open up the diaphragm and the sternum and the pectorals. So that's it for today. Think about your breath when you're doing these active isolated stretches. You're sort of breathing in life, and you're breathing out your tension. But remember that as you work that arm line, and even the trunk line, and you spiral out, and you're opening up the tensions that are in the heart. So these stretches, of course, are going to affect our breathing too. So that's it for today. I hope to see you again tomorrow, and we'll get into something else. If you have questions, let me know. I hope you're safe, and I hope you're well. And yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys. Love you all.